Welcome back. Today on Real Reviews, we have a soundbar review for you guys. This is the Skywave X70 that was sent to us by Ultimea. So a big thanks to them for sending this out. And just to give you an idea, a comparison between what we had before, the F40 Boom. Here's the box for the F40 Boom. Boom. And if box size is any indication of sound quality, then I definitely expect a lot from the Skywave X70. Before we open it up, let's take a quick look at the box. Starting over here at the front, you can see we have the surround sound system here. Here's the sound bar, the two rear channels, and the subwoofer. It's the Skywave X70, 7.1.4 channels, 10-inch sub, Dolby Atmos, HDMI, Cinemesh, and Neurocore technology. And we will go over all of that in just a bit. Taking a look at the side here, it does have the Ultimea app, which we are going to also be going over. And onto the back of the box, there's really nothing else back there at all. So let's go ahead and get this thing open and see what we get. So when you're opening up the box, there's a couple of sticky tabs right here. You just peel them up just like this. They are really, really sticky. Here's the other one. Or you could just cut them, whichever way you want to do it. I'll just probably peel them up and just stick them right here. Get them out of the way. Here we go. And let's see what we have inside of here. Nice piece of styrofoam. Here we go. Get that out of the way. Ooh, X. What is this? A giant Xbox. We got an Xbox, guys. This system comes with an Xbox. That's awesome. We have our speakers, some more styrofoam, the 3-piece soundbar, and then, oh my gosh, that's really, really heavy. Underneath here, we have, now this is the subwoofer right here, and the way that you have to take this out, it has like these little handles right here. You just grab the handles and try not to break your back. Pull these little tabs out of the way. Let's pick it up. Now, this subwoofer is really heavy. The whole package was like 61 pounds. So I don't know, there's probably at least like 40 or 50 pounds. Let's pick this thing up. And there it is right here. A gigantic subwoofer. Look at that. Wow. That looks way bigger than a 10. That's like a 15. I don't even know. And there's nothing else inside the box. So let's get all of this uncovered and then we'll go over everything that comes with this system. Here's everything that comes inside of the box. We have our Xbox over here, which has our cables and power adapters, which we will get to in just a moment. Then over here, we have our gigantic subwoofer. We have our rear channels, and then we have our soundbar, which comes in 3 pieces. Now, starting over here with the 2 rear channels, you'll notice that this does actually have a metal grill on it, which is really nice. And the box seems really, I don't know, more dense than the F40 boom boxes. We have a front firing speaker. We have a upward firing speaker. And around the back, we have our connector to mount it. And it also tells you this is the left speaker. We have our connection button right there in case it got disconnected. And the same thing with the right speaker. You have your little connection button and it also tells you that it's the right speaker and our wall mount. Then underneath, you have your little power plug because on these, since they are wireless, all you have to do is plug in the power cord and you're good to go once you set them in place. Next, we have our gigantic subwoofer. If you take a look at it, we have the Ultimea symbol there in the middle. We have this nice gigantic dust cover on it. The dust cover is actually about 13 inches, even though the speaker is only 10 inches. And if you look inside, you can actually see the speaker there. Really nice, really nice. And then down here at the bottom of it, you see we have some rubber feet, so it doesn't slide around when you place it down on the ground. And over here on the back, we have our gigantic bass port. We have our power plug and we have the power button. And then around on the front, it just says Ultimea up at the top. It's a nice little touch. Then over here to our sound bar, as you can see here, we have a nice grill on it. These do feel, I don't know, this is just plastic, but it does feel pretty sturdy. And inside of here, we do have a front firing speaker here. We have a tweeter. So this is a full range, a tweeter, another full range. There's nothing here on the side. And then we do have an up firing right here. And then around the back, we just have our spot where you can wall mount it. And here is our connectors when you have to put these bars together. And we will be doing that in just a moment. Over to the other side, it's pretty much the same thing. You have your up firing driver. You have a full range, and a tweeter. They don't even talk about the tweeter anywhere. So I'm not really sure any information on that. And then you have your connection point right here. And on the back, you have your wall mount. And then finally onto the center piece, we have 2 full range right here. I believe we have a display over here. And I don't know what's right here. Nice little Ultimea logo right there. And here are our buttons. We have power, source, Bluetooth, volume down, and volume up. Over on the back, we have an infrared port cover where you can go ahead and peel this thing off right here to uncover that so it works better. We have our 2 wall mounting brackets, as well as a HDMI eARC, HDMI. We have an optical, a USB, and your power adapter port. And taking a look at our Xbox here, let's open it up and see what we get. Ooh, nice presentation. Inside of here, we basically just have all of our power adapters. So this power adapter right here, let's see this one. Oh, they all come in like Ziploc bags so you can keep them fresh. So you have your rear power adapter, that's one of them. We have our other rear power adapter. And we have some mounting brackets. I'm not going to be using those, so we'll just leave them in there. We have a bunch of screws for the mounting brackets. We'll leave those as well. Here is our power brick for the soundbar itself. And then you have another cable that goes along with it. And then we have our little Ultimea package right here, which has a quick start guide inside of it. And it just folds out. Tells you pretty much everything you need to do. It shows you what's in the box, how to connect everything, shows you the remote, talks about getting the app here, and just, I don't know, regular connection type information that you might need. And then what else we have in here? We have a wall mounting guide. So basically what this is, you just put this up on your wall. If you're going to wall mount it, then you can kind of just drill your holes wherever they need to be. So this is how big the sound bar is. So it just shows you, you know, if you're going to put it under the TV or whatever, pretty straightforward. 1, 2, 3, 4, nice and easy. Underneath here, we have our HDMI cable. We have an optical cable if you're going to be using optical. And then we have our cable for your subwoofer. You can probably confuse these two. I mean, they look exactly the same. So I don't know. I don't know if they are, you know, just like either one could be used for either thing, but I will probably keep my subwoofer one like separate from the other one. So I'll just keep the subwoofer one in the bag so I don't confuse it. And then we have our remote. Okay, it has like a little plastic cover on it. And here is our remote. And I'm not really so much into this remote because I'm used to the F40 boom remote. And if you notice, it's just missing a lot of buttons. And that's one thing that I kind of have a problem with the X70. A couple of buttons that we're missing right here is mid-range and treble. So you do have to use the app to be able to adjust your mid-range and treble, which I don't know why they couldn't have just added, you know, a couple more buttons here. Mid-range, treble, up and down, very simple. But anyhow, that's one thing I don't like about the remote. But the remote does take 2 AAA batteries. So go ahead and put those in right now. And it does not come with batteries, by the way. And that is pretty much it for everything that's inside of the box. And since there was such a big difference between the F40 Boom and the X70, I kind of wanted to just show you guys the difference. I mean, it's like super impressive. I mean, it's completely crazy, the size difference in these speakers. I mean, here is the bar. So as you can see the bar compared to the other bar, how much bigger it's going to be. It's just crazy how thick it is. And then as far as the subwoofer goes, I mean, that is just like, I mean, look at that. Wow, that's just incredible. So I definitely wanted to just show that to you guys as a quick comparison between the F40 Boom and the Skywave X70. Now we're going to go ahead and get it all set up. I chose to start by setting up the rear channels first. They can be wall mounted, placed on a table, or you can pick up some stands like I did. Once you have your speakers situated, you just need to plug in the power cable for each one. As for the front, place your subwoofer and plug in the power cable. Next comes the soundbar, which arrives in 3 parts. So just align the joints and twist to connect. Even though there are 3 ways to connect your soundbar, HDMI ARC, eARC, optical, or Bluetooth, only HDMI eARC will allow you to take full advantage of its potential. However, if you only have ARC, you can still get up to 7.1 in a lossy format where available as Atmos via Dolby Digital Plus. Since most TVs only have one ARC, eARC HDMI port, be sure you are using the correct one. We're going with the HDMI ARC, and I already have run the cable out to the front alongside the power cable. And since we have our 2 cables already laid out, connection is a breeze. HDMI to HDMI and power to power. And our hardware portion is complete. Now onto the configuration. Be sure to set your soundbar to eARC and your TV's sound output to HDMI. Then turn on CEC in your TV's menu so that your bar will function properly and you'll be able to control your soundbar from your TV's remote. If you are using eARC, be sure to enable it in your TV's menu and just set the digital output format to auto or pass-through. This will allow the full uncompressed audio signal to go straight to the soundbar. Don't get worried about the configuration since that should only need to be done once. However, ARC is not as straightforward, but still simple enough. For example, YouTube may only support PCM, while if you're using a streaming service like Netflix or digital media via a USB drive, you may have Dolby or Dolby Digital Plus as an option. Atmos via Dolby Digital Plus does support 5.1.2 and up to 7.1 in a compressed format. So as you play different media, you can check this setting to be sure you get the best experience. Taking a look at the specifications for the Ultimea Skywave X70 Starting with the soundbar, it has 6 2.25-inch full-range front-firing drivers and two 2.25-inch up-firing drivers. There are also 2 tweeters on the bar, but there is no mention of those on the website, so I'm not really sure any specs for those. And for the rear surround speakers, they do also have full-range drivers in them. Each one has one 2.25-inch front-facing driver and one 2.25-inch up-firing driver. For the subwoofer, it does have a 10-inch speaker with dual magnets and a max linear excursion of plus or minus 17 millimeters. Peak wattage for the system is 980 watts, supporting 7.1.4 surround sound with a frequency response of 20 Hz to 20 kHz and a max SPL of 102 decibels. Recommended room size is anywhere between 215 to 645 square feet. The complete system comes in at 61 pounds, with dimensions of the soundbar coming in at 43 inches wide by 3.9 inches deep and 2.8 inches tall. For the rear surround speakers, the dimensions are 3.35 inches wide by 3.35 inches deep and 6.7 inches tall. The subwoofer comes in at a whopping 11.8 inches wide by 16.85 inches deep and 16.85 inches tall. Connections available are USB-A, optical, HDMI-in, HDMI eARC, and Bluetooth 5.4. The app used is the Ultimea app. Some of the extras, it does offer Dolby Atmos, Zapmix when Atmos is not available, Gravis bass technology, which offers distortion-free deep bass, Neurocore, which gives you high-resolution audio processing up to 24-bit 192 kHz for incredible detail. Cinemesh True Wireless Dual 5 GHz audio transmission. It does also have a GAN amplifier, which offers low heat, fast response, wide dynamic range, and reduced compression. Current price at the time of filming is $799 US. Taking a look at the Ultimea app for the Skywave X70, we can see we have it here at the top and it's connected. Let's go ahead and click on it. And here it is. It does say that it found a new version, version 19. However, it is not forcing us to upgrade it on the X70. However, it is still forcing the upgrade on the F40 Boom. So do keep that in mind. Top of the line speaker is not forcing the upgrade. F40 Boom is still forcing it. So I don't know why that is. It really shouldn't force it anywhere. So right here below, it does say Bluetooth music, and that's in case you're playing a song. You can play, pause. We have our volume right here. And here we have our EQ, we have our power off button, and then we have the source button. So if we click on EQ, we can see currently right now we're on cinema, but we also have standard, music, voice, game, and night. I guess night just makes it quiet if it's, late and everybody's sleeping. And then we have bass, mid-range, and treble. And now you do not have treble or mid-range control on the remote like you do on the F40. So you do have to manage your mid-range and treble from here. So do keep that in mind as well. We also have our surround level here, up firing level, and Zapmix on or off. Now Zapmix is going to be a virtual surround sound in case your TV does not support ARC or eARC. So you can still use that on stereo devices or if you're using Bluetooth or whatever. And it kind of tries to simulate it as best as it can. And over here under the customize tab, you can make your own equalizer. It does have a 10-band EQ here, and you can create an EQ to your liking, and you can also save it. There's a couple different slots there as well for you to save it to. Or you can click on style, and I believe this is 121 different points, I guess you could say, where you can select where you want it to be. So if you want it to be more bass, or if you want it to be more classical, if you want it to be closer to pop, whatever, we're just going to keep it in the middle right there. Just leave it normal. And now if we go back here, there is a settings button here at the top. If we click on that, you can customize the name. Right now it's just Skywave X70. You can view your user guide. You have your MAC address, your serial number, IR pass-through. I'm not really sure what IR pass-through is. We have our prompt sound. You can change that. We have it on low right now. You have none, medium, or high. We have our auto standby. Right now it's never that it goes into standby mode, but you can actually change that to whatever you want. Screen time off 30 seconds. That's a little display on the front of it. So 30 seconds is reasonable. Actually, I'm going to probably set mine to 5, or you could turn that to never so it just stays on all the time. And then for display brightness, right now we have ours on medium, but you also have normal, high, and low, and also dim, in case you wanted to change that. And then we have firmware upgrade. Version 15 is what we're on right now, and it's trying to get us to go over to version 19. And then we also have restore default. So if you've changed a bunch of settings in here and you really don't know what you did, you can click on restore defaults, and that's going to bring you back to where you were originally from the factory. And the last but not least, we have delete device. If you're just going to sell it, you don't want it anymore, just go ahead and click on delete. And then you're basically back to where you started from before you ever connected to it. And that's pretty much it for the app. For my final thoughts on the Skywave X70, let's just start out with a few things that I didn't like. Firstly, the X70's remote is missing the mid-range and treble controls that are found on the F40 Boom's remote. Now you can still control the volume, however, you must create an account and be logged into the Ultimea app in order to do so. Fortunately, on the X70, you're not forced to upgrade the firmware in order to use the app like you are with the F40 Boom. But the biggest issue I have with the X70 is the fact that the center channel is a bit weak compared to the rest of the system, which can make it tough to understand dialogue, especially in action scenes or where music is playing. They should have really added a volume control for the center channel like they did for up-firing, surround, and subwoofer. Now, I mean, it's not really a deal breaker, but it's just something to keep in mind. But besides that, the build quality seems sturdy and the system looks good in the room. Plus, the wireless connectivity makes for an easy setup. When I first unboxed and put the system together, I was surely expecting the X70 to be on a whole nother level compared to the F40 Boom. Just take a look at them next to each other for size comparison. I mean, that's a big difference. And after watching my first movie with the X70, I was not disappointed. It's definitely a big upgrade in all aspects. I mean, this thing is loud all around and it maxes out at 100. We only use it at about 15 and even dialed it back down to 12 just to give you an idea. For smaller rooms like mine, the F40 Boom does a great job at filling the space. However, if you have a larger room or just want huge sound and thunderous bass, then the Skywave X70 will definitely do the job. Before I got my first soundbar, I did not know what I was missing. And since then, I use it for everything. So much that I don't even remember what my TV sounds like anymore without it. So if you enjoy TV, movies, video games, or sports, then having a quality system is a must. So if you are interested in picking this up, I will have a link in the description where you'll be able to get it from. And if you would like to show your support, please be sure to use my links since anything you purchase does generate a small revenue for the channel. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell button so you never miss another video on Real Reviews. See you guys next time.